Hello, and we are live.
Yay!
Yay, and it's so
Yay!
wonderful. I am reunited with this amazing woman, Caroline Rocky. Caroline, thank you for being here.
It's my pleasure. I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy to see you and talk to you and be in this space with you. It feels great.
I know, it was so special. So if you don't know, Caroline and I shared some time together. I would say about 1.5 years.
Yeah, I think that's
several
right.
years ago. Yeah. A few years ago, she was part of my coaching program doing the beginning of my mastermind. And I'm starting this project that Caroline's actually my first. I'm so excited to share. And it's really, where are they now? So when you do a coaching program, you might not even realize at the time how it impacts the trajectory of your future and the rest of your life and can put you on a different path. And also, like, to wonder, did the coaching have an impact on that? Or if you're thinking about a coaching program, or you're thinking, would I really need that or would I not? It's really powerful to see how people's lives have changed in the future. So Caroline, if I could just start asking you a few questions.
Of course,
that would be amazing. So where were you at in life when we first connected?
Oh, that's a great question. Let's see here. So I'm a Leo, for people who like astrology, and if you don't, it's somebody, and tarot is too, which is lovely. It's for people who like love big ideas and always have new things that they want to try, and there's some real like extroversion, which is all lovely. And then there's some things which makes it a little difficult, which is like it's kind of hard to focus on one thing if you're a Leo. So I had been an art teacher, I had been a fine artist, I had been a recruiter, and I was just really struggling to figure out what were like the core aspects of what I wanted to do and how to make it concrete and take my next step. I knew I didn't want to be an art teacher anymore, but I wasn't sure what direction to go. So yeah.
So you knew you were an art teacher, but you didn't want to be, but you didn't know what directions to go. So what kind of feelings, do you recall like what you were feeling at the time, or what problems were coming up as a result of this?
Yeah, that's a good question. I hadn't thought of that. I wonder.
I remember.
Do you remember? Yeah. I'm sure you remember. You're welcome to share it too. Like frustration. It's like a lot of frustration. Like I knew I was really creative and just always had been really successful in like whatever career path I'd had, and I wanted to be successful again and wanted to use my intuition again, but I just wasn't sure how to do it or like what platform to do it in. So I guess frustrated is a good way of saying it.
And then with that frustration, was that impacting other aspects of your life, or
good idea.
Were you successful time in your estimation of success at the moment when we first got together? I'm just curious.
Oh yeah, definitely not. Like I definitely felt stuck for sure. I almost forgot, like that felt like such an obvious, I forgot to say it. I definitely felt stuck. Also, what else did I feel like? I was also just kind of tired of like trying to figure it out. There's definitely a sense of like, oh, I'm trying this thing, I tried that thing, it still doesn't quite feel in line. And I definitely just like needed to find the core aspects of what I wanted to do, and then find what direction felt easiest. I think that's what I learned. One of the things I learned the most was just like what felt easiest. So like I like really naturally intuitive. I'm really good at listening to people, and I'm really good at making creative things happen from that. So I didn't mention this, but before I was an art teacher, I was a recruiter. And I had a lot of aversion to doing that again, because it was like, I worked at Microsoft. It was like 70 hours a week. I was reading a lot of resumes, and then I realized like I could use all these things that I had, like intuition, and just look at somebody's picture and intuit about what they like to do and not like to do, and use that in a very like left brain practical way to help people, especially females, which is one thing that I'm most passionate about, find a job.
So before we get into what you're doing now.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
That's okay. I mean, I just think it's really important to look at you know, where you were at then, because there's people that are watching that are like,
oh yeah,
how could this
oh
help
yeah,
me? And is this something that I need? And so we look at where you're at then, but I think it's a big
Yeah.
thing that not knowing which direction to take and feeling stuck and kind of spinning the wheels, and it starts to impact your like your day-to-day life, like your feelings
Oh
about
yeah, oh
feeling
definitely. I mean,
unsuccessful, feeling lost,
yeah,
feeling confused.
yeah, it was kind of like a general, yeah, I want to go back to that to help people. It's like kind of a general feeling of just like feeling like lost, and this sounds so cliche, but like without direction. So it'd be like driving home. Let me give like a specific example. Oh, what should I do? Should I look at email? Should I try to figure out if Paper Wings art ads are going well? I'm not sure if that makes sense. Should I try to do my budget? Should I clean my house? And it was just like, and that's just in itself is stressful and distracting and hard to figure out.
And then I love what you said about like you were one of the things you learned from the program and our work together. And that's one of the things I've learned. I love helping people with is that we tend to make our lives hard because we tend, it's like, I always use the terminology or the metaphor, like the terminology or metaphor, like swimming upstream, like swimming.
Oh yeah, that's a lovely. Yes,
like
100%.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, like when you keep trying something and it's like not working, but you don't know. But then you brought up like, but I did this in the past. I don't want to do that. I'm doing this now. And it's working. It just
totally
so hard.
Yeah.
Like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, yeah, it's a perfect example. And it's like, what else is in it? If I lean into it, it's like, you know, you want to change direction, but you just can't quite figure out how. So then you spend so much energy trying to figure out how.
Oh my God,
and that
right?
in itself is exhausting. You're just like, oh, I've tried this 20 times, or this doesn't quite feel right, or whatever.
And it's the energy that could be put towards like your passion.
Doing something.
Which helps you to be successful. But what I like to call is soul calling success. And that's a terminology I've probably come up since we worked together, because it's what people were doing, like tuning in to their own soul calling, their own passions, their purpose, and their gifts, your unique gifts. So you started to bring that up, that you really started utilizing your intuition in a whole different way. But before we get there, I do want to ask you, so even when you're in that space of things like, let's call it like, you know, kind of sucking, there were some things that were sucking. And,
for sure. Fitting,
so
whatever it is.
How did you know that I was the right person to work with? Because we worked together.
That's a good question.
Why would you choose me?
That's a great question.
A lot of coaches out there. I mean, especially now.
It's like coach-orama now. I think it's because I knew you had a really strong left brain and a really strong creative, intuitive side. So I was like, okay, I want to be able to be successful but not lose my intuition, or have intuition, I guess a better way of saying it. I like have intuition just be part of my daily life, which it already is. And I know Tara is doing that. So that seems like
I love that. I love that. I've had other people many times actually say that's what I liked about you. You had the business experience and the logic brain, but the woo-woo spiritual,
totally.
Tune into chakras and
breathing, all of that. Because I really don't believe you can make change without that. So that's really still core to my belief. Like,
me too.
I believe that it's like cultivating the spirit is what enables myself to have the ground to make the change happen.
And like allowing in that spiritual guidance. I mean, now, and we probably did this when we worked together a few or more years ago, almost 5 years probably, but when now in my calls, I really often, depending what energy I'm feeling, but I really take that time to let people sink in and close their eyes and meditate and open up for the receiving and the guidance. And even for me, so I don't know, it channels through me what to deliver. Like it's pretty magical. I think we can work in the zone of being soul calling and being spiritually guided.
Yeah, on
So,
that deeper level, because I think that for myself, especially being a Leo and American, it's like my brain is so active
yeah,
that I could come up with 20 million things that I wanted to do. So to really stay with what's the most important requires some breath.
that's
attention.
beautiful. Because I know my brain too, it goes, and so many of us are so overstimulated today with so much on our
Totally.
plates that taking a
Yeah.
moment to just breathe, it changes your energetic state
Like
quickly.
right away,
That's
right?
amazing.
Yeah, we just did it. It's amazing, right? It's
Versus
like, ah,
taking a pill or doing something else. So
mhm.
speaking of that, the
Yeah.
process, what was the process? People might be really curious or not know what to expect in a coaching program, especially
Mm.
with me.
Oh, yeah.
What was the
What a
process
nice
like? Or
question.
how would you explain it to someone? Or even if you want to share like your favorite part.
Yeah, that's a good question. Let me pick out something that would be helpful. I think the process for me was, and who knows if this was what logically happened. I don't even really remember, but it doesn't really matter. For me, it was like sinking down and understanding what was important to me. Like, I believe we looked at the past like 2 or 3 things that I had wanted to do and like what were similarities between those things. So for me, it was a lot about like female empowerment and expressing myself in creativity. Those 3 things were like the 3 strongest elements in all of them. And that in itself was like a really helpful exercise because I'm thinking now, at the time, I still really thought they were divergent, all of my different jobs.
Yeah.
So that in itself was really helpful. And then we kind of moved through like roadblocks, which for me, I was thinking about this earlier too, was that I really believed that you could only make a lot of money um, when you were stressed out. I'm 100% aware of that now. Like, I really believed you had to
Oh.
overwork. And my patterns around that are so strong.
And
Um,
then I've done that
yeah.
too, and I had to overcome it,
Mm.
and I've helped others overcome it because then you fight success because you don't want the stress. But when you
Right,
realize you
right.
can have success without the stress, it's like,
Right, you're
what?
like, oh, what? Yeah, what? Like, oh, I definitely want that. Like, yeah,
I can enjoy my life and get ahead
yeah,
and make money and make
yeah,
a difference in other people's lives with my gifts. Yeah. And just
yeah.
enjoy
What
it.
an
It was
amazing
always
thing.
work hard, work hard, work hard,
Uh-huh, uh-huh. And
work
like have
happy.
it be really difficult. Like difficult, had to be difficult. Yeah, yeah.
And I believe
I,
when you set that up, that's what you receive. When you believe that's how it
that
is,
part.
then that's how it
Yeah,
is. You
yeah,
know, I know you and
you
I,
know it.
I know you and I,
Yeah,
your thoughts create reality. But sometimes you don't know your thoughts. Like you don't recognize,
right,
have awareness around the subconscious mind. And the
right.
thoughts just because you've just had them forever. And it just seems like normal. Like, of course, you work hard to get ahead. Like,
Right. And that's what you've heard for so long. And I even found myself today, was been working at the New York Times. It's going really lovely. It's going
yeah,
great. And I was kind of feeling a little stressed, and I don't often feel that way. And I thought, oh, I need to find some more candidates. And then I was like, huh, is that true? No, I have enough. I'm getting a little stressed. Is there anything actually pressuring me to do that? No. Okay. All right. I think what I need is some food.
cool.
Yeah.
Tuning in. And I know that that is so much, that's so much of the work I do is ask,
So
is
much.
that true?
Is that true? It's such a powerful question because then
I do
it's
a
like,
lot of that. Yeah.
whoa, yeah. Yeah. No, it's not true, actually. I know that's one of your gifts is the questioning. It turns up so much.
That has been one of my gifts with people is really
Yeah.
recognizing their different perspectives. So speaking of that, or
Yeah.
another possibility or higher potential, was there anything in working together and working with me as a coach
Mm,
that
yeah.
surprised you? that you didn't
Mm,
anticipate?
that's a great question. That's a great question. I think what surprised me the most was like, I hate this term because people say it like limiting beliefs. I'm gonna just get rid of that term. I hate that term. Um, I did not like, I saw limiting beliefs as maybe like, I don't know, like I don't want to do this, or I'm too tired or something like that. But Tara really helped me with something specifically, which is almost humorous. Was I met this man and he's lovely, and he had just gotten divorced, and or he was in the process of getting divorced, and I immediately thought, oh no, I can't go on a date with him because I don't want to go on a date with anybody who's divorced. That means that he's got a ton of emotional issues. And I just like decided he's got emotional issues. And Tara said something to me like, well, do you know that? Or have you asked him? And I was like, huh, no. And then it turns out I asked him, and he wrote this long letter about like how he'd processed all his emotions, and it was actually all very true. I mean, he still has healing because who doesn't from a divorce. Um, and then we got married like a year and a half later.
Oh, that's so
Yay! Lovely, yay! And I totally would have said no. I mean, I did say no. And Tara was like, you sure you want to say no? I was like, oh, I'm positive. I know emotions. I know emotions.
I'm not getting messed up
didn't,
with that guy.
right, not getting messed up with that guy, but I didn't know that guy, like that particular guy. I didn't know him. And the real truth would be to ask him rather than have my own assumptions about what divorce means and all of that. So yeah,
Beautiful.
it's lovely. So
I know, finding your soulmate as well as your soul.
soulmate. Yeah,
So what else?
exactly.
That's a lot. What else has
That's a
happened
lot.
since? Like, where are you at now? What else has happened in your business aspect of your life since you were able to work with me?
Work with you. Yeah. So I decided that, let's see, how did it start? So I had a really good friend who was really creative. He was like a senior person on Xbox when I worked at Microsoft. And he came to me and asked me if I would help him recruit a team. And I'm trying to think what shifted my perception. At first, I was like, no. Again, it's funny to think about. No, definitely not. I'm not doing that. That's recruiting. I can't. It was like he mentioned something about, sorry, we're on a video, I'll speak after. He mentioned something about wanting to increase diversity. And like I knew my focus is creating more equity between females and males. So something popped into my brain. Somebody probably mentioned it to me, and they were like, well, Caroline, what like a wonderful place to see if you can hire more females. And I was like, oh, they're like, wouldn't that be still your mission about like gender equality and helping empower women? I think it was my teacher. And I was like, oh yeah, completely. And they're like, can you handle recruiting? I'm like, yeah, because it's only like 10 hours of the week, and the rest of the time I'm talking to people. And I took the job and I started to love it right away. Like there's the boring 10 hours, and I'm like, but I'm serving people in a very tangible way. I love listening to people and hearing about their past. I love seeing if it's the right fit for them and asking them questions. I just really enjoy it.
Instead of seeing something that you were giving up of your own, you started to turn around your perspective to see it as, this is actually empowering me to empower other people.
Yeah, completely. That's beautifully said. Yeah, that's beautifully said.
And something you might have blocked, that career success you enjoy today, and you might have blocked that amazing love soulmate partner that you're now married to. So
yeah,
that is like, oh my God. Like,
it's huge. It's huge, right? And it's such a gift too, because like when the stress times come up, I'm like, hold on, is my intention for taking this job to be a recruiter? No, my intention is to help females and like kind of help the gender gap. So do I need to do this extra work to like generate more candidates or no, because that's not actually like serving my intention. I can walk away. I don't no longer need to feed the like corporate, like I'm a good employee. I don't know, whatever those beliefs are. Work harder. Like,
You've achieved so much from working. You've achieved so much since the time we've worked together, and even in the time that we did work together. And I'm so grateful I could be a part of your journey and just be so happy and successful and fulfilled now, because that's what fulfills me and why I do what I do. And I love that you're helping other people. And it's just this awesome ripple effect. And just the last question, I know we're running out of time. Is there anything you would tell someone that is considering coaching or stepping into a program with Transformation Tara?
Great question. Yeah, great question. It is possible to do what you want to do and to have the support and somebody to help you cultivate that. Like, it is possible. You don't have to keep swimming. Like Tara can help you do it. Yes, it's possible.
And do you still keep your art passion alive?
Oh, for sure. So this job allows me, I paint for 4 hours every morning.
4 hours
because I only work
on your terms.
On my terms, because I only work 4 hours a day on their terms. It's wonderful.
Amazing. Using art, empowering other people, living in love, and that's all good since the time that we worked together. And it's awesome.
Thank you, Tara.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Anyone watching, please know it's possible and know that we have an event coming up. And if you want to change the trajectory of your future, you get a nice taster experience. In just these 2 days alone, we'll show you how to do it. So make sure you comment me in one of the comments below, and I will send you the link to sign up for our next upcoming. Just say me, I want it. And we'll send you the link. And this is pre-registration right now. Registration begins tomorrow, and you can get on the list to spend 2 days together online. So I look forward to seeing you, Caroline. Seeing you again. Being happy.
Pleasure. Oh, likewise. Thank you, Tara. All right, namaste. See you soon.
Namaste. Bye. Bye, everyone.